An explosion of scientific discovery in recent years has given us powerful tools to understand and combat the sad, steady demise in physical and cognitive function and enjoyment of life that we have erroneously come to believe represents the aging process. Compelling scientific evidence is accumulating each day to confirm that the conventional understanding of the aging process is an absolute farce. The aging process should really be defined as the accelerated decline in function and health span caused by adverse lifestyle practices that conflict with our genetic expectations for health. Dr. Art Devaney, the great forefather of the primal paleo ancestral health movement, calls aging, quote, an illusion, and this is validated by a scientific concept known as the DNA damage theory of aging. Devaney, who's the author of the New Evolution Diet, has been a great inspiration to me on my journey, for he was blogging thoughtfully about some of the foundational elements of the primal paleo keto diet many years before they achieved wide acceptance. Devaney also walks his talk, maintaining exceptional physical fitness into his 80s with a truly primal exercise regimen featuring brief, ultra-explosive workouts followed by hours of fasting to achieve what he calls cellular renewal. Devaney elaborates on the illusion of aging, quote, the only genes that have been discovered to have any bearing on aging are regenerative or defensive pathways. The aging process is a loss of cell function, a loss of cell integrity, and a loss of the ability of stem cells to renew tissues. Aging basically is damage. There's no such thing as healthy aging because damaged cells are not healthy, end quote. What does this mean? Oh my gosh, aging's not inevitable. Now, DNA damage occurs as a consequence of living life. You get sore muscles after a workout, you get a sunburn when you're going to the beach, but it's the unrepaired accumulation of routine cellular damage that we inaccurately perceive to be normal and inevitable consequences of chronology. The wrinkled skin, the loss of bone density, declining neuron firing efficiency in the brain, proliferation of cancerous cells, and so forth. So you now have permission to recategorize these and other markers as damage instead of aging. Of course, the reason we don't routinely live to 150 is that even with clean living and efficient cellular repair processes, some DNA damage inevitably lingers and accumulates. This is particularly apparent in the most prominent areas of disease or obvious decline as we get up in our years: the eyes, brain, cardiovascular system, and skin, because these happen to be some of the longest lasting and hence the most vulnerable cells in the body. In progressive health circles, chronic inflammation, a prolonged and unhealthy activation of your body's inflammatory fight-or-flight response due to the stressors of modern life, is often characterized as the root of all evil and the root cause of all disease. In contrast, genes are hardwired to respond to brief fight-or-flight stressors with an acute inflammatory response. This is desirable. So when you hoist a heavy weight or take off sprinting, a powerful cocktail of stress hormones floods your bloodstream. Cortisol, epinephrine, norepinephrine, dopamine, serotonin. You feel alert, alive, and energized, with your brain, muscles, and organs performing far beyond baseline. The same goes for a cold water plunge. Then, when you complete your sprint workout or exit the cold tub or the hot sauna, your body works hard to return hormone levels, body temperature, and overall energy systems back to homeostasis. Consequently, with this hard work for getting back to normal baseline, you adapt and become more resilient against not only the specific stressor that you endured, but all manner of future stressors. It's the same fight-or-flight response whether you're in a sprint or a traffic jam. These appropriate fight-or-flight stressors that promote an adaptive response are called hormetic stressors. In contrast, the many forms of chronic stressors in modern life abuse and eventually exhaust this delicate fight-or-flight hormonal mechanism. When your fight-or-flight mechanism gets cooked, you end up with suppressed immune function and chronic pain and inflammation and arrive at the familiar modern destination of burnout. You have arrived.